Hello and welcome to Countrywide on Benue Television. I am Susan Ayo. The headlines. Governor Alia signs 10 bills into law. Full honors for heroes of trouble on Democracy Day. Plus, Reps report accuses MDA's private sector of mismanaging COVID-19 funds. Now the news in details. The governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, has signed into law 10 bills recently passed by the Benue State House of Assembly. Governor Alia performed the exercise Tuesday at the Old Banquet Hall of Government House, Makurdi, in company of the Speaker, Benue State House of Assembly, Onduna Daju, and other top government officials in the state. He said the law meant to protect the general safety of Benue people and ensure that their rights as citizens are not abused by others. Correspondent Emmanuel Akula completes the story.
According to Governor Alia, he is signing into law what would make the people understand that Benue is their home and that they will protect it to hand over to those coming after them a better state. He advises people of the state to think beyond partisanship for the interest of the state, emphasizing that his administration remains resolute until wholesome peace is guaranteed in Benue State. The governor, however, warns against intra- and interstate crises, calling on traditional rulers to be deliberate in their actions to ensure that permanent peace returns in their respective communities.
When it comes to law and order, please, my citizenry, forget about partisanship. What I'm signing here has nothing to do with APC. It has nothing to do with ABGA or Labour or PDP. I'm signing into law what would make us as a people to know that this is our home and to protect this home and turf of ours and to pass on to those coming after us our genuineness, our legitimacy, our sincerity, and our truth. This is the high magnitude of what we do this afternoon portends.
Presenting the bills to the governor, Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, Onduna Daju, says the bills that passed through all necessary legislative processes have been a testament to the commitment of the 10th Benue State Assembly to making laws that will impact positively on the people of the state. The Benue State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice and Public Order, Fidelism Nim, explains that no part of the open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law 2017 has been repealed, as it is a Benue people-oriented law. The 10 laws signed by the governor include a law to make provision for Benue State Drug and Health Commodities Management Agency, a law to prohibit harassment, extortion of money from land developers, violent and fraudulent conducts in relation to landed properties, popularly known as matching ground, a law to merge volunteer and livestock guards to provide for the establishment of Benue State Civil Protection Guards, a law to establish the Benue State Legislative Budget and Research Office, and a law to repeal the law making provisions for the maintenance of the former elected governors of the state and their deputies. Others are law to provide for Benue State Youth Development Commission, an implementation of sustainable youth policy, a law to amend the Public Procurement Commission law, a law to regulate the engagement of casual workers in the Benue State Public Service, a law to provide for the retirement of magistrates and judges, as well as a law to regulate the Benue State House of Assembly Commission law. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
The Benue State government is to begin dredging of River Benue as a catalyst to economic development of the state. Governor Hyacinth Alia announced this and other projects at Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida IBB Square, Makurdi, during the 2024 Democracy Day celebration. Correspondent Emmanuel Akula completes the story.
This year's Democracy Day celebration in Benue State has taken a different dimension, witnessing a crowd that has not been seen in recent years. The event precedes a democracy march led by the governor of the state, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, from Government House Gate to IBB Square, venue for the celebration in Makurdi, the state capital. This event, according to the governor, is an opportunity to celebrate liberty and freedom, where the masses are drivers of democracy. This in the past 25 years, Nigeria has experienced uninterrupted democracy, a feat he opines is worth celebrating.
As we mark democracy celebration, I hereby restate my commitment towards rewriting the socio-economic narrative of our dear Benue State. I am forever committed to building formidable systems and institutions premised on fairness, accountability, democratic ethos, equity, and justice.
Governor Alia uses the celebration to mention some of his achievements in the last 1 year, which he says has engendered economic growth through reforms in all sectors of the economy. He says his government has embarked on people-oriented projects through his administration's 7-point agenda in line with the current economic realities. The state chief executive announces that over 400 kilometer statewide roads will be declared and contracted for construction in a matter of days, even as the administration begins demarcation in Benue communities to solve issues of land disputes. He reveals that his government has achieved these milestones without borrowing.
Although this task has been challenging, the impact so far has been very encouraging. For instance, we have nipped in the bud almost all the inter-ethnic community skirmishes that were prevalent before and after we came into office.
According to the governor, his administration has concluded a legal framework to establish a civil security outfit to protect the state, with particular consideration for reviving moribund state companies, to create more jobs for the youth while increasing internally generated revenue.
As a government of popular consent, the government of the masses, I am mindful of the honor and trust bestowed on me. For this, I have pushed sleep and comfort to the back seat to ensure that I live up to the expectations and terms of our social contract.
A minute silence was observed in honor of a former military governor of Benue State, Group Captain Joshua Obedemi, who died this year at the age of 73 years. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makurdi.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for that report. Benue State Deputy Governor Dr. Sam Ode has reiterated commitments of the Governor Hyacinth Alia's administration towards providing good governance as the country marks 25 of democracy rule. Dr. Ode, speaking as the country celebrates Democracy Day, says 25 years of unbroken democratic rule is 25 years of people-oriented government. Martha Ikyo reports.
It has been 25 years of unbroken democratic rule since the coming on board of elected governors in 1999. With different political parties featuring their candidates, Nigeria has been under different leaders. The current governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, the 6th democratically elected governor, inaugurated on the 29th of May 2023, is already 1 year in office. Speaking on the journey so far, State Deputy Governor Dr. Sam Ode says the democratic government remains the best option.
Nigerians have come together in unison and have chosen June 12th as a day that will celebrate democracy. And the reasons are not far-fetched. So far, so good. 25 unbroken period of elective democracy is worth celebrating. We never knew that military rule will end in this country. But today, we have the choice to decide those to lead us in elections, through elections, and so it is worthy of celebration.
Dr. Ode, speaking on the feat recorded by the alias administration, said they have been able to do a lot within a short time while assuring the people of Benue State that more development will come in the coming years.
And we have been delivering in the last 12 months. The testimonies are very loud that the wages of civil servants, whether at the state or local government level, pensions and gratuities have been paid as and when due. And I think there's a new lease of life in the state. We are going to do better. We still aggregate the views of our communities in the rural areas. We want to know what we can do for the people to enhance their well-being and make them happier people.
Celebration of Democracy Day was changed from 29th May to 12th June in honor of the late MKO Abiola by the former Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari. The 2024 Democracy Day celebration in Benue State comes with its uniqueness. According to many, was the first time the people of Benue celebrated the day, as people from all walks of life were represented at the occasion in high spirit at the Ibrahim Badamasi Square in Makurdi. The ceremony was spiced up with beautiful parade by men and officers of the Nigeria Police. Martha Iko, Benue Television News.
You're watching Countrywide on Benue Television. Let's take a quick break. Stay with us.
Benue Fashion Show Season 3 is here.
It's that time of the year for fashion designers, entrepreneurs, and fashion enthusiasts to shine.
This year, sale of forms for the competition begins from 15th April to 30th June 2024.
Pick a form at Benue Television, located at Special Duties Wing, Government House, Makurdi. Form costs 5,000 Naira only.
Stage 1 screening begins on the 6th of July 2024. Great prizes await you.
The first prize, 1 million Naira. Second prize, 500,000 Naira. And third prize, 300,000 Naira. All prizes are inclusive of cash and fashion tools. Also, consolation prizes and gift items.
For sponsorship, partnership and inquiries, please call Benue TV Marketing on 0906 188 9838 or 0703 794 5569.
Benue Fashion Show,
embracing fusion fashion.
Glad to have you back. Heroes of Nigerian democracy got due recognition yesterday from President Bola Tinubu. He hosted them to state banquet after paying them tributes in his Democracy Day broadcast. The president reviewed a full military parade to hallmark the day at the iconic Eagle Square in Abuja. He led eminent Nigerians to the event, which also commemorated the country's 25th Democracy Day anniversary. Former President Muhammadu Buhari declared June 12 Democracy Day to commemorate the 1993 presidential election won by business mogul Moshood Abiola, who was denied the fruits of his victory by the then military government of General Ibrahim Babangida. The election was annulled and democratic structures were erased to terminate the burgeoning Third Republic. Abiola, who declared himself president in the heat of the struggle for his mandate, was arrested, put on trial for treason. He eventually died in the custody of the military government in 1998. The country never witnessed democracy until 1999, when the Fourth Republic commenced. May 29 made it 25 years of unbroken civil rule since independence in 1960, the longest, but celebrations were put forward to yesterday. Those President Tinubu named in his broadcast are Chief Anthony Enahoro, Chief Abraham Adesanya, Commodore Dan Suleiman, Chief Otto Nwanko, Chief Chukwuemeka Ezife, Admiral Ndubisi Kanu, Chief Frank Kokori, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Adekunle Ajasin, Chief Ganiu Dawudu, Chief Ayofa Sanimi, Chief Gani Fawomi, Chief Abiyoyi Dore Jaye, Dr. Beko Ransom Kuti, Chima Obani, and others who have transited to the higher realm. He recognized the sacrifice of General Alani Akinrande, Professor Balaji Akinyemi, Professor Wole Soyinka, Chief Ralph Obioha, and Chief Cornelius Adebayo, saying for at least 6 years they bore the pains and difficulties of life in exile. The president said while the exiled pro-democracy activities kept the fire burning, their comrades at home sustained the pressure on the military brass hearts. The organized labor has rejected President Bola Tinubu's claim that an agreement had been reached on a national minimum wage in his nationwide broadcast to mark Democracy Day. According to Labour, as at the time negotiations ended on June 7, there was no agreement reached by the tripartite committee on the national minimum wage. Rather, two figures such as 250,000 from Labour and 62,000 from the government and organized private sectors were arrived at and also have been submitted to the president. Meanwhile, the federal government has urged Labour to be realistic in their demands for a new minimum wage for workers, saying that the relief Nigerians were expecting would not come only in the forms of an increase in wage, but from other packages lined up by the government. In a statement by Nigerian Labour Congress NLC acting president Prince Adewale Adanyuju, Labour noted that anything to the contrary was not only doctored but wouldn't be accepted by Labour. Reacting to the president's speech, Adanyuju said the NLC attentively listened to the Democracy Day presidential address delivered by Senator Bola Tinubu, especially concerning the ongoing national minimum wage negotiations. While the president may have accurately recounted parts of our democratic journey's history, it is evident that he has been misinformed regarding the outcome of the wage negotiation process. 1 million Nigerian youth are to be benefits from the National Youth Skill Program (NYSP), Youth Development Minister Dr. Jamila Bayo Ibrahim said yesterday. The program will avail them the opportunity to sharpen their skills on how to thrive in modern economy. The minister spoke in Abuja during the 25th Nigerian Democracy Day anniversary youth program organized to celebrate 25th anniversary of democratic rule titled 25 Years of Enduring Democracy, Prospects for the Future. According to the statement by the Director of Press Public Relations of the Ministry, Omalara Isan, the minister said that the restructured Nigerian Youth Investment Fund (NYIF) will commence its calls for entries by June 30, 2024, adding that the ministry has already streamlined the process to ensure more young entrepreneurs can access the funds they need to innovate and create jobs. Regarding the young leaders, the minister declared that the institute will be launched by August 30, 2024 to nurture the next generation of Nigerian leaders with the skills, knowledge, and network needed to excel. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Ambassador Baba Gana Kingibe, expressed gratitude to the minister for her forward-thinking initiatives and well-crafted policies aimed at empowering and preparing the youth to assume significant leadership roles in the future. He said the initiative showed that the younger generation was enthusiastic and ready to take charge by embracing further thinking, concepts, and leveraging modern technology, even though their generation may not have had prior exposure to it. The Minister of State for Youth Development, Ayodele Olawande, who was represented by the ministry's permanent secretary, Dr. Dumonma Ahmed Umar, said that the federal government was fully committed to ensuring the successful implementation of all youth development programs. He emphasized that the programs have been designed to bring about a positive and tangible impacts on the lives of youth, thereby bringing about a transformative change in their well-being and future prospects. Let's take another break. Stay with us.
Benue Fashion Show Season 3 is here.
It's that time of the year for fashion designers, entrepreneurs, and fashion enthusiasts to shine.
This year, sale of forms for the competition begins from 15th April to 30th June 2024.
Pick a form at Bainway Television, located at Special Duties Wing, Government House, Makudi. Form costs 5,000 Naira only.
Stage 1 screening begins on the 6th of July 2024. Great prizes await you.
The first prize, 1 million Naira. Second prize, 500,000 Naira. And third prize, 300,000 Naira. All prizes are inclusive of cash and fashion tools. Also, consolation prizes and gift items.
For sponsorship, partnership and inquiries, please call Benway TV Marketing on 0906 188 9838 or 0703 794 5569.
Benway Fashion Show,
embracing fusion fashion.
Glad to have you back on Countrywide. The House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts has said there was an alleged mismanagement and breach of financial regulations in the disbursement and utilization of 1.3 trillion naira on COVID-19 fund. Submitting the report to the House, the committee also alleged that some government agencies and private organizations that benefited from the funds used the money for purposes it was not meant for. The report, which was submitted to the Parliament during the Tuesday's plenary by Committee Chairman Bamidele Salam, PDP Osun, said some private airlines used the COVID-19 for their personal operations. Salam said the report, which is the first volume, covered the periods between 2020 and 2022. The committee chairman said 92 ministries, departments and agencies were invited to appear during its sittings, following a motion adopted by the House on October 17 last year, alleging mismanagement of COVID-19 intervention funds. The committee's reports, which will be subjected to lengthy perusal, alleged mismanagement, non-compliance and outright violation of procurement laws and financial regulations by various MDAs and private sectors beneficiaries of the fund. Quoting records from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, the reports gave a breakdown of inflows amounting 1.3 trillion naira for the funds. Out of the total inflow, about $3.4 billion was said to have been donated by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, as grants, while the federal government intervention stood at 34.4 billion naira. Besides, it said a general donation amounted to 6.0 billion naira, while the China General Chambers of Commerce donated 48.1 million naira, with 70 million naira and 50 million naira coming from the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board and the Remitter e-payments platform. The document revealed that officials from the Ministry of Water Resources, the Federal Ministry of Finance, the University Teaching Hospitals, Federal Medical Centers, specialized health institutions, the Rural Electrification Agency, among others, appeared before the committee during its investigation. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention (NCDC) has alerted on increasing cholera cases nationwide, with 30 deaths, 1,141 suspected cases, and 65 confirmed cases reported. Disclosing this in a public advisory, the Director General of the Center, Dr. Jide Idris, said the cases that occurred between January and June 11, 2024 were reported from 96 local governments in 30 states. He stated that the 10 states that contributed 90% of the burden of cholera is included Bayelsa, Zamfara, Abia, Cross River, Bauchi, Delta, Katsina, Imo, Nasarawa and Lagos states. The He urged Nigerians to be wary of the increasing trend of cholera cases across the country as the rainy season intensifies. Dr. Idris explained that cholera is a food and waterborne disease caused by the indigestion of organism Vibrio cholera in contaminated water and food, adding that water is usually contaminated by the feces of infected individuals. He listed people at risk, including people of all ages living in places with limited access to clean water, among others. He explained that diseases can be prevented by ensuring access to safe, potable and drinkable water, proper sanitation and waste disposal, and appropriate hygiene, including hand washing. Idris advised Nigerians to reduce the risks of cholera by ensuring that water is boiled and stored in a clean, covered container before drinking, adding that people should practice good personal hygiene by washing their hands frequently with soap under clean water, ensuring that food is well cooked before consumption, avoid open defecation, discriminate refuse dumping, ensure proper disposal of waste and frequent clearing of sewage, among others. He urged health workers to always practice standard safety precautions such as wearing gloves while handling patients or providing care to an ill patient's relative. Intensify surveillance efforts to promptly report suspected cholera cases. With that, we've come to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Before we go, a recap of the top stories. Governor Alia has signed 10 bills into law. Full honors for heroes of struggle on Democracy Day. We also told you that Rep's report has accused MDA's private sector of mismanaging COVID-19 funds. Thanks for being part of Countrywide and Benue Television. I am Susan Ayo. Remain blessed.